Hello and welcome. This is the first episode of our podcast, 92-bit Gamers. That nearly threw me right off because we were thinking of a different name beforehand. But yeah, 92-bit Gamers, that is who we are. I am your host, Mark, from YouTube channel Modern Tech, and I'm with my co-host, Lewis. Today, something exciting happened. I am a fond lover of the Steam Deck. A very, very fond lover of the Steam Deck. As you can tell if you're watching the video version, I've got one sat right next to me right now. But the ROG Ally has just been announced, kind of. It got announced a while ago. There was rumors of it all over the internet, and it got shown off, but there was no information on it, no specs. But today, I'm recording this podcast, is the 11th of May, and I've just finished watching the live event of the press conference. And yes, I am super duper excited for that. Do you know anything about this so far, Lewis?
From what I've seen of it, it's. I know you like your Steam Deck. It looks like it's a full Windows upgrade of your Steam Deck.
Yeah, pretty much.
From what I saw and what I read, it's essentially it basically one ups the Steam Deck, but instead of just being a Steam machine, it comes with Windows. So you can have it sort of comes with Xbox. From what I was reading, you get Xbox Game Pass.
Just to clarify to people, by the way, actually, if nobody actually for some reason knows what a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally is, then it's a handheld gaming console, which is basically it's handheld gaming PC, which is designed like a handheld gaming console. So yeah, you can play all your PC games on there, your Steam library, etc.
All the power of a tower in your hands.
Yeah, pretty much. There you go. You should have wrote that as a slogan. All the power of a tower. I suppose you can also dock them as well with the Steam Deck. You've got a dock for it, but this ROG Ally also has a dock, and even better than just having a dock. I don't know if you know this yet, Lewis, but there is an additional I don't know what it's actually called exactly. I don't think it's a version. There's like an accessory that you can get where you can externally attach a graphics card, so you can have like a 4090 to this thing.
What, via the cable? Just
yeah,
like USB into the back of the machine?
Yeah, they have kits to buy it, and they announced it in the conference. And the kit was £700 just for like the cable, so you can add your GPU to it. And if you wanted the one with a 4090 RTX, that was £2,000. Well, dollars.
I don't know. I don't know what I won't be getting.
It's the way the guy says it in the video, though. He was like, "Oh yeah, for only $699," and then for the next one, it's like, and for this with an RTX 4090, that's $1,999. Like, he just skims through it really quick. It's like, yeah, let's get that one out of the way. No one cares about that.
And 99 cents probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, actually, you'll add it to your car, and you'll have all these additional taxes and stuff that come out of it. But yeah, as for the ROG Ally, it's obviously ASUS, ROG, ASUS, ROG, ROG. I don't know if it's ROG or ROG. Do you know that at all?
No, let's just go with ROG. It's all in capitals. So we'll go with ROG at the minute.
It's ROG, and basically there's two models of it. One of them's got an AMD Ryzen Z1 CPU, and the other one's got an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme CPU. The Z1 CPU is $599, which is good because performance-wise, it's supposed to be just over twice as good as the Steam Deck. That's all we've seen from the chart based in teraflops. And then they have the Z1 Extreme version, which in the teraflops seems almost on the level of a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, which for a handheld console seems absolutely insane. Yeah, it's roughly like 7 times better than the Steam Deck, apparently. So I am looking forward to this.
So just when you were saying it was in dollars before, $600 is about £500 today. But obviously, like that's just off converting like
Yeah, but it'll
money.
be 600
You
quid.
that'd
You
be
know what they're
something.
like, though, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There won't be no price difference. It'll be oh yes, it's $600. It's also £600.
Do you remember when the Xbox One got announced like years and years and years ago at E3, and they were like, it'll be $420, and it's like, and in the UK, £420, and back then that was like a big
It
bloody
definitely
difference.
wasn't
That
the
was like
same.
120
Yeah,
quid or whatever. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute. And
yeah.
we all got screwed over on that. But oh god, they fumbled that launch. That was like one of the biggest, well, one of the worst console
The
launches ever,
Xbox One
really.
launches, not the newest ones. You mean the original
Yes,
Xbox
yeah,
One
the
one?
Xbox One, the original fat
The one
black
that
one.
came with that silly camera.
Yeah, god, yeah. But when they first announced it, they had this thing on it where you couldn't share games. I can't remember what the terminology is for it is
Oh
actually
yeah, no,
called.
yeah, I remember it. I know what you meant now. Yeah, so basically, what you can do with game sharing, isn't it? You couldn't game share with your friends.
Yeah, so you could buy a physical game and put it in and stuff like that, but you can only have one. And it wasn't to do game sharing; it's buy like one physical game, but it's registered to one Xbox, so you can't trade it in at CX or whatever afterwards, and somebody
Oh yeah,
else
yeah,
can't
you
buy it.
could.
And then it was
They
absolutely
got rid of that
stupid.
very quickly, though, didn't they? Once
Oh yeah, the amount
there
of
was so much
hate they got.
backlash on it.
Yeah, especially on that
Um,
same day, PS4 was announced, and just
and they're like, oh yeah, game sharing, mate. Put two accounts on, and you can share the game.
blew him out the water. Going a bit off topic here, actually, but on the PS3, you could game share with 5 people. How good is
Yeah,
that? So remember, my
well,
brother
that is really
managed to
good.
get an account off eBay. I don't know how he got this account, but he paid like £20 for it, and it was an account with a $200 card on it. So we all kind of like chipped in like a fiver each or something like that, 4 of us, and just we all chose like 2 games each, and we just had all the games for a fiver, which was
For a fiver.
yeah, banging price
That's
really.
sick.
I can't remember what I got on it though. I think I just remember getting everyone else's games. There was an indie game on it. Sorry, I can't remember. Too far away,
No.
far too gone.
PS5, you can have at least two accounts on it. I know that much. Yeah, you can do that now, Mark, after you've just now purchased a PS5.
Whoop whoop whoop. Yeah, I was so adamant against getting a PlayStation 5 or any of the later consoles to play. I've got an Xbox Series S, which I use as pretty much a home entertainment system, like downstairs in the front room, and it's good. I don't play games on it though. I occasionally do. The kids do. I don't bother. I'm PC through and through. I've got a reasonably decent PC, so I can play every game like high quality and stuff as it is without worrying about it. But the opportunity arisen recently where a PS5 popped up really cheap, um, £250. I just thought I'll throw it out there because I'm a numbers guy, really. £250, and it's good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah,
Good lad.
because what you wanted to do originally, didn't you? You wanted to like share your account with me, but you're doing that with your cousin. So rather than having any of this like mix up and having your cousin left out, I looked into the yearly subscription, like I don't know what it's called, PlayStation Plus Extra. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something out of bloody
It
All
basically
Might says.
it's PlayStation. It's PlayStation Plus, like a PlayStation Game Pass. Basically, that's how they run it.
Yeah, and it's really good. It had Ghost of Tsushima on it, which game was £70 on its own anyway, and that's the game I wanted to play. And the whole year subscription was £83, I believe.
Yeah, but with that now, you're not just locked into Ghost of Tsushima. You've got,
Exactly.
I'm
I
pretty sure
looked.
the Uncharted games are on there.
Final Fantasy VII
Like
remake
Fantasy
is on
7.
there. I've been wanting to play that. What else was on there?
Basically,
It's got every
from
game
what I know,
practically. Yeah.
you've got all of the up to date games go on it pretty much straight away, unless it's like it'll be all PlayStation exclusives that'll be on it straight away. Like on Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass games,
Yeah.
Game Xbox exclusives go straight onto Game Pass. It's the same sort of thing. If it's a game that's supposed to be available on everything, you probably won't find it on there.
Well, I actually found a little a little cheat in the system there as well, because it was 80. I think it was £83 for the actual year membership, but I bought £100 gift card for PSN for £84. So I used that to pay for it. So then I was left with like 16 quid spare anyway. So bit of a
So if you want
win-win,
something else,
really.
you've got something.
Yeah. So if you ever have to do any subscriptions, get yourself one of them cards. I think it was CD keys or G2A, one of them.
And you get it cheaper.
Yeah, online retailers. Sorry,
Nice.
back on topic. I know I'll go all the way back to where we were with the handheld consoles because we've gone quite far back past that. I know you've not got a Steam Deck, Lewis, and you're a Switch guy. Does it do
Yeah.
anything for you, this new console?
I really like that it's a Microsoft console because after I read that it was a Microsoft console and that you can put Game Pass on it, it's basically I can take my Xbox with me wherever I want.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point.
so especially with the way that Xbox Game Pass works, it's pretty much got 90% of the library on bar third party games. It don't carry Call of Duty and stuff like that, but it's got Star Wars Fallen Order on it at the minute. It's got like EA games are on there as well. And a lot of the Ubisoft games are on there as well. So any of the games that you would want, like after a year after release, usually gets put on it. So after a year, if you could take your Xbox anywhere on if you've got one of the ROG allies.
Well, yeah, well, it's a good point, really, because obviously you've got Xbox Game Pass, which is a massive thing, and it's reasonably affordable. Plus, like you said, you already pay for it on your Xbox anyway, so it's just another device for it to go on. But then you also have your Steam library situation. And obviously, Steam games are stupidly cheap compared to games on Xbox and PlayStation. When a game comes out on Xbox and PlayStation, it's usually like £70. But when you get it on PC, you can usually always get it for a key for about £44, like roughly 40 quid. So it's just a
Yeah,
massive saving, really. Especially if you can actually dock the console as well and it can play 1080p. So yeah, it won't be as powerful as like an Xbox Series S or a PlayStation 5, but if it's a handheld console, it's perfect. And like I said, for Game Pass, that would be really good, especially for you, to be fair, because you've got you have to go to dialysis quite often.
yeah. I spend a lot of time out the house, don't I? So if I could just
Yeah.
4 hours would drift by if I had that machine while I'm sat in the hospital.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
Um, so
people
you
don't
say,
know.
sorry, I missed that. Then did you say you could get Steam on it as well because it's carrying
Yeah,
Windows? So would
no,
you get the Steam app on it as well?
it's a Windows computer. That's all it is. It's no like special interface or anything. It is
It's
Windows.
just right.
It,
So yeah, you could get your Steam
you
app on
put
it
on it,
and
yeah. You can have
download it. Yeah,
Discord on
yeah,
it,
yeah.
whatever you want. You can stream from Twitch on it and stuff like that. They did, they advertised that you can do whatever you want. It's just a computer, but
That's
handheld.
amazing.
Yeah,
I've
so
got to
it's
get some money together for one of them. Then I might as well have
yeah.
one of them.
I'm yeah, I've signed up to Curry's. So when they announced this, they announced it that it's available. It will be available to buy first in Best Buy, but that is
That's an
American.
American company, innit?
Yeah.
That's
So I
you're
was
not
really
going to find one of them
confused.
over here.
I was literally on the day today. I posted a video on my YouTube channel, Modern Tech. Quick little plug there. Which, in fact, this video will be on the channel. So, yeah, subscribe if you're listening. But yeah, I posted a video on there today, and I looked up where you can
Release
actually get it
dates.
in the UK. Yeah, and Curry's is the only place so far confirmed at the UK. They have it on the ASUS website, but I don't know if they're actually doing any pre-orders or anything like that, or there's any additional fees. But Curry's will be the one, and Curry's have a sign up thing where you can. I've signed up, so I'll put my details and my phone number, so they will send me a text when it is ready to purchase. And I am hoping to get it straight away because it's planning to be released in Q3 of this year, which is
just
Very
after the
soon.
summer.
Yeah, that's very, very soon.
Q3 is usually,
Fingers
from
crossed.
what I remember when I was at Game, Q3 is usually just after August. It's like the September, October time. Because then Q4 is usually like the end of the year for gaming.
Yeah, they're never really fully specific with things, are they? So this fall,
No.
or Q3. Oh, brilliant. Just give me a date, please. Did you find that? Do you find? Wow, that's. If anyone's watching the video, you probably know my reaction was a bit surprised because a cat just jumped on Lewis's head there, and he's just sat on the back of your chair.
It's fine. For anyone watching, this is Eva. So usually get in the way.
Oh, bless her. She didn't like me then. Give me some evils. Bless me. Bless you. Be gone.
Sit down.
What was I saying now? I've lost track. Thanks, Eva. Cheers for that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Release dates. Do you feel, I personally feel like games are getting announced way too soon? Games and tech.
Too early, do you mean? Like,
yeah. How do you feel about that?
They are, because you get excited for something and then they bring up the date at the end of the trailer and it's like, coming soon. And then
2 years later,
we don't see it.
Coming
2
soon.
years later,
we get another trailer.
2 years later, we get another trailer and it might say, like,
the year after.
or the worst one is, and I've seen this in a lot of trailers, coming holiday 2023, for example.
Yeah.
Like,
what holiday? Can you be specific?
I mean, it's usually the Christmas holiday. It's usually November, December. But yeah, when it says holiday, it's just like, that's the worst thing you can say.
Yeah, they could technically justify.
For example,
like, Easter's a holiday, right?
the worst one for this is Obsidian and Bethesda. Because they're bringing out Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Now, Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 were both announced about 3 years ago. And we are getting Starfield this year, to be fair, so I'm quite excited about that. But we've still got no news on when Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be released at all.
I have not actually looked into Starfield. I know that sounds very weird considering it's supposed to be like the biggest game coming out. And people are anticipating it to be, well, people are hoping it's going to be the game which could bring back Xbox from its bit of a slump as a system seller. I've not.
It depends on what you it depends what you enjoy playing, because it's based the way that I've seen it on a couple of trailers. It's a mix between like the No Man's Sky / Elite Dangerous type space exploration and an Elder Scrolls and Fallout game where you start off as you create your character, you get sent into space, and you follow either the story or side quests or stuff like that. But compared to like a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game, it is massive. Like the map and the galaxy that you're in is full of different places and stuff to explore. I am worried that it turns into a No Man's Sky, where when No Man's Sky came out, it all lied to us.
Overpromised, yeah.
It was like you went onto a planet and there was nothing there. It was just empty. Where if you play No Man's Sky now, though, it's massively upgraded. People playing it. There's loads of people playing it. It's like been upgraded. Where I hope when Starfield comes out, it's none of that. I just hope straight away it's worth playing. And it's not one of them games that we've had recently where it comes out for £70, which is probably what it's going to come out as, and it's not finished and it's not ready.
Well, it's going to be on Game Pass, I believe.
It's supposed to come out on Game Pass straight away, but I think obviously people will get it as a physical as well, because believe it or not, games do come off Game Pass every now and again.
Yeah,
I mean, Starfield being an Xbox exclusive, it'll probably be, yeah, exactly.
It's like if you Fallen Order, for example, I feel like that has been on Game Pass since it came out. It's just there. It's always
So
there.
with Fallen Order, because it's an EA game, you get EA,
EA
you get the
Play, yeah.
EA Play through Game Pass. So it came on EA Play a year after it was released, and that's why it's still on Game Pass, because it's on EA Play.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all the games on EA Play usually come onto EA Play a year after their release. So, for example, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is on there. Jedi Fallen Order's on there. Battlefront 1. You've got the other Star Wars games that are on there, as well as a lot of other EA games. Like, after a year, you can play FIFA for nothing. As long as you don't mind playing the game the year before, you can just play FIFA for nothing.
I was thinking about something before, about Xbox and PlayStation, because now that I've got a PlayStation, I guess I'm a PlayStation guy to an extent. PC or Master Race, but yeah, I've got a PlayStation and I'm quite enjoying it. What was that noise? Is that your cat?
Yeah.
Your cat wants to join the podcast. But yeah, sorry. What I was thinking about before is Xbox is clearly, like, statistically, is dying. Like we said, we spoke about it last week with ourselves. Xbox sales are down by 30%, which is obviously a big dramatic fall. And when you think of the grand scheme of things, like, yes, Xbox has Game Pass, and Game Pass is incredible, but Game Pass is also on PC. So what's the point in having an Xbox? I can't. That's people's arguments at the minute, because there's no major first party games. Like, we used to have Gears of War. What happened to Gears of War? I've not had a new Gears of War in ages. Halo came out, and Halo was a flop. Like, that wasn't anywhere near as enjoyable.
They've been trying. As much as I will play my Xbox before my PS5, but possibly that's because I don't have a big fancy PC. Maybe if I did have a PC and had it all set up properly, like, I've got my laptop and that's what I'm using now, and it does play games like I want to. Like the few games that I do want to play on my laptop. They're usually like strategy games, like Total War games or like Command and Conquer type style games, because they're much easier to play on the laptop with your mouse.
Yeah.
And with my Xbox, I'll play all the big story games like Jedi Survivor. I finished that the other day. I played Marvel Midnight Suns. I'm playing through something else now. Like, we're both playing One Piece. You're playing it on your PC, and I'm playing it on my Xbox. And then on PS5, I generally just play my PS5 exclusives. Like, I played I got it to play God of War and Forbidden West, the Horizon sequel. And that's why I got the PS5, really. But then I've been able to play other games that you can't get on Xbox. Like, there's a lot of like anime style games that you get on PlayStation that you won't get on Xbox. Now, I haven't checked for these games on PC, but you can definitely play them on the PlayStation.
Yeah, they'll probably be there, or they will be there at some point. PC is usually like a year late for major games. But out of all the games you listed, like you said, there's no exclusives on the Xbox, and it's a shame, because all the ones that you listed weren't exclusive.
When they bring Xbox games out now, it's advertised as Windows Xbox One. Because it'll come out on
PC as well,
computer as well. It'll come out on PC as well. So a lot of Xbox
when I'm saying exclusive, I mean more
with
like console exclusive to the to Xbox, rather than like all Xbox games.
So you mean like Gears of War, Forza,
well.
yeah. There's not been a big like.
There's been nothing.
Now, Xbox and Phil Spencer, they're banking on
that Starfield, aren't they?
Not just Starfield, but over the last couple of years, they've brought in a lot more developers, and hopefully over the next year or two, we'll start seeing more exclusives. Now, luckily, they did get Redfall, which has had bad reviews. However, every single one of my friends who's played it has said it's absolutely brilliant. and they say that the reviews, they don't get why it's got bad reviews. They've had loads of fun playing it probably because they haven't paid for it, because it's gone on Game Pass straight away.
That's true, but I've heard a lot of the bad reviews were mainly performance issues. On console, you cannot hit 60 frames a second at all. I know a lot of people, like, if you, like you, for example, you are more casual when it comes to like first person shooters and stuff like that. Anyway, you're more of a story driven guy. But for me, I'd notice if it's not 60 FPS at least, and it would do my head in a little bit. But apparently all the quests as well, they're all like fetch quests, and they're like the main story missions. They're all the same, just like fetch quests, and just doing the same
that
shit
was
over and again.
that was the same with the one that we played, wasn't it? Back 4 Blood.
Back 4
Even though
Blood.
we enjoyed
Well,
it
that's the
fully,
thing, yeah.
a lot
Back
of the
4 Blood,
quests were the same.
Back 4 Blood got hated on. I did a review on that as well recently, and I've got a lot of people in the comments who love it, but it's just like such a niche thing. When it came out initially, people hated it, and but I'm hoping Redfall can turn itself around. I'm not playing it yet because Phil Spencer has basically put his hands up and said, "Yeah, I should have been involved more on that, and I was focusing more on Starfield, and he messed up." So he's taking
He's
full
taken
responsibility.
Yeah.
Took it like a champ, and then because Phil Spencer is taking it like a champ, Redfall will get sorted out. Like there's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
It's gonna do a full on Cyberpunk, I reckon, and just like start from being a broken game to something which becomes rather incredible.
Yeah, I've just gone on to the just had a quick look. I googled most anticipated games of 2023 according to Xbox, but I don't think the story is right because the list includes like the third party games as well. Because you've got Redfall on there, but then you've also got Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Resident Evil 4, which were on all the consoles.
You might have to change your search results to exclusive Xbox.
I did put that.
Oh, you did put that. Yeah. Jedi. First thing I did when I turned my PS5 on, boot it up to the store and had Jedi Survivor right there.
Maybe if I'd use Google instead of Bing, I'll get better answers.
Oh yeah, I don't know why you're using Bing. Use Ask Jeeves. Bloody hell. But how did you find Jedi Survivors? I've not played it. I've been playing the Fallen Order, and I'm kind of near the end, I believe, of Fallen Order, and I'm really enjoying that. But
I really liked it. I've still got a couple of the last things to do. So, for example, like like checking the maps for chests and stuff. I really like the story. There's some good twists in it, as well as new characters. So, without like revealing anything, there's new characters that you go around with instead of the game's characters from the one that you're playing. And then you've also got BD1 follows you around like he does. And what I thought was good was there's some games where at the beginning, especially if it's a sequel, for whatever reason, when you start the game, your character suddenly something happens and he loses all of his abilities and he can't do anything.
Oh, every time, don't start.
Right, where that doesn't happen in Survivor. You carry on from the previous one, so you can still like use the force powers you learned. You don't lose anything. You essentially just upgrade yourself from the end of Fallen Order to the end of Survivor. So you don't lose any abilities. You just keep them all, and you just gain new abilities.
Oh, that's good because at the end of even at the start of Fallen Order, it shows him and he's like some secret Jedi in a way, like hiding. And you still have to relearn things by triggering memories from the past. So that was unexplained. It was like, how was he forgot? How did he forget these maneuvers and running along walls?
In the game, it does tell you. He said that when his master got killed, he locked himself away from the Force. so he couldn't feel it anymore. He couldn't sense it anymore. That's why he couldn't like do the things like he should do. He locked himself away from the Force, so he couldn't get tracked down. It's in the first like half an hour of the game.
I've probably heard something like that, but that seems like a bit of a lame excuse, to be honest.
When he's talking to Sia for the first time, it's mentioned there because Sia has locked herself away from the Force as well.
I suppose. Did you ever watch that Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
I watched the first few episodes, but I've not. I didn't finish it.
Well, he kind of did a similar thing, didn't he? He was like out of practice and stuff like that. And when he did come to actually using any Force and stuff, he was a bit naff, really, wasn't he?
Right, so I've done this search on Google.
Go for it.
Instead of Bing. And we've got a top Xbox exclusive game set to release in 2023. So we've got Starfield in later in the year. We've got Redfall, which is out already. There's a new Forza Motorsport game coming out, but that's not like it's not a new thing, is it? We've always had a Forza game every year.
Yeah, I don't every few years. Like, I'm not a fan of Forza. I know that's people are gonna hate me for saying that, but I'm just not a Forza guy. It looks beautiful. It plays okay, but it's just another racing game. It's just the same sort of malarkey all over again.
And then there's a sequel to Stalker. So we've got Stalker 2, Hearts of Chernobyl. The original Stalker was actually only put on PC, but they're bringing this one onto PC and Xbox. And the last one on the list which I didn't know, is called Planet of Lana. That's Lana. I'm not too sure. It's a puzzle game. It's more of an indie game, but it's going to be exclusive to Xbox. Beautifully crafted puzzle game with adventures, twists to launch in spring.
Oh, I've seen that. It looks nice. It's like a cartoony looking thing.
Yeah, it's like a cartoony thing. Yeah.
But it's a bit of a shame, though, isn't it? Like just from that list, there's nothing
out of that list. Starfield is the one that everyone's waiting for, really.
Yeah.
And people who like Forza will play Forza.
Obviously, yeah.
And I've never played any like the games, like never played Stalker. So if Stalker 2 is coming out, it best not be a like a full sequel, because people might not have ever played it on PC before. They might not get what's going on. Yeah, they're the top 5 that people are waiting for, apparently, according to this story.
I've seen recently that Quidditch Champions is coming out, which obviously in Hogwarts Legacy, the Quidditch just conveniently wasn't on that year.
Yeah, Quidditch got took out, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's why. It's probably because, there's already been another game in development, which is a Quidditch game. I can imagine it's probably going to be like the FIFA of Quidditch, the top dog of the game. Do you care about
There's
that?
a game we forgot about. Sorry, I know we've exclusive. With the Quidditch, no, I'm not really fussed about the Quidditch game, basically, because if it is just going to be FIFA on broomsticks, I'm not too bothered. The flight, though, the actual maneuvering, the flying gameplay from the Harry Potter game was all right. It worked quite well, but I don't think
it was just all right, though, wasn't it?
It's not. I wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't want to play a whole game of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to do it if it was a mini game. To be honest, I'd be like, maybe have 1 or 2 matches out. Right, I'm done.
Yeah, it's one of them. I'm not too into sport games. That's the thing. And it's just a fantasy sport. The only fantasy sport game that I got into a little bit was Blood Bowl, which is basically it's American football, but you play as like orcs and elves and dwarfs, and
Nice.
when you tackle people, you can like pile drive them into the ground, and like you can smash people up. It's quite entertaining for half an hour.
I did used to like some of the old FIFA games, even though I'm not a massive football fan as it is. But Red Card on the PlayStation 2, that was one I highly remember.
Is that the one you do drop kick players for the
Yeah,
fun
you
of
just
it?
run over and deck someone in the face. It's like, and the ref didn't see it. It's like, okay. But then every now and again, like, you'd get red carded or you get sent off the pitch or something. You're like, what? How did he like not see some guy clothesline me, but he seen me accidentally kick his shins when I went to get the ball? Yeah. Funny.
So
funny
I
game.
sort of interrupted you a minute ago, but there's a game that we forgot about, and I'm quite excited about it when it is actually released. Fable. There's a new Fable game coming out.
Is there?
Yes, there is a new Fable game coming out, and it's the original team doing it from the other Fable games. So I'm quite looking forward to it because I liked Fable 1, 2, and 3, and I played them from start to finish. I quite enjoyed myself. I always end up getting evil and fat though.
That actually got announced on the same press conference as the Demon Souls remake.
Demon Souls is out.
That's what I mean. A long time ago, it was like the first PS5 game out. So yeah, that's it was same. Like I said before, games get announced way too early, and it leaves fans so anticipating it to the point where you get bored of waiting for it. Like Dead Island 2.
You forget like it's coming out. Like I've just done. Like
yeah.
I was the only reason I noticed it was because I was reading the list. I mean, Dead Island 2. I haven't looked into it. I don't know if it sold well because it's out now. It came out the last few days.
Apparently, it's very mid. Like it's all right. It's not bad. It's not great. It's all right. So I'll probably
We've spoken
enjoy
about
it.
this though, didn't we? When we was in chat a few weeks ago, we were talking about it between us, and we did say like it's going to be one of them. It's just going to be another Zombie Slayer game, but in first person. It's not going to hit the heights of Dying Light, or like it's just not going to do it.
So I mean, if it ever goes on Game Pass or anything like that, or if it ever goes really cheap, I'll play it. Hopefully co-op it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing again. It got announced. I was dead excited. Then it got re-announced. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because the team stopped making it for a few years because I can't remember what the problem is. It was something about the studio didn't have enough money left or something like that. So they stopped production on it.
Yeah, originally, when it first initially got announced at the E3 in bloody hell, I think it was 2009 or something like that. Actually,
it was a long time ago.
Yeah. When it first originally got announced, then it cancelled. Then I think it got thrown around to so many different developers. It's a shame when games get cancelled though. That kind of
there was a game I was so excited about. I can't remember the name of it now, but I can imagine it in my head. It was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, and it was sort of a mix between Monster Hunter and Devil May Cry.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I remember that.
You was a dude, and the trailer looked mint because there was a guy fighting a bunch of guys in a forest, and then suddenly he said some magic words and threw his hands about, and then a dragon came out of like the forest and started helping him, and I was just like, "This looks amazing!" And then it was an Xbox exclusive, but it got cancelled, and I was very disappointed.
So, I mean, they need stuff like that to actually captivate the audience. Bring Xbox back. Make Xbox great again. Start a petition.
On this podcast, comment on this podcast.
Make Xbox great again.
And then we'll get the comment list, so we'll send it to Phil Spencer himself. These are all the people who want Xbox to be great again.
So if you are one of our 2 viewers, leave that comment. And Phil Spencer will know. Bloody hell. Oh, but yeah, of the Xbox in general, because the last generation, the Xbox versus PlayStation 5, pretty much, Xbox have kind of admitted that they've lost in the kind of console wars. I don't deal with all that console war malarkey, but the fact that it's, how do I put it into words? It's a digital imprint to your library in a way. So people who are, say, Xbox owners, for example, they're going to be buying games for their Xbox, and they'll be buying them digitally, and then they'll be storing this collection on their games. So when a new Xbox comes out, they'll buy an Xbox because they've got all these digital games that they've bought. But because the PlayStation sold way more than the Xbox, and it was so much more desirable, people have then got these catalogs of digital games that they're going to be committed to. So when a new Xbox or anything like that does come out, these people would be more inclined to stick with the consoles that they've got, or like the upgraded version of the console they got, so they can have their whole digital library still. It's a similar situation to me with the Steam Deck and stuff. I've got Steam. I've got like 300 odd games on Steam and stuff like that. So that's why I'd rather buy Steam games over anything. If it was on PlayStation, Xbox, or anything like that, I'd buy it on Steam, because I can play Steam on any computer.
Anything,
yeah, pretty much. And I've got my Steam Deck for handheld purposes.
Once you've got a decent PC as well, it's not difficult to. I say it can be pricey depending on what you do with it, but once you've got a PC, if it's a little bit out of date, you upgrade the part that's a little bit out of date. Where with a machine, with an Xbox, for example, in however long it is, it'll be probably about 3 or 4 years, maybe. There'll be a new machine out, and you have to buy a whole new machine. Where you could, with a PC, every couple of years you upgrade the graphic card, or you upgrade the processor, or you upgrade this, that, and the other. You can keep the machine going for much longer, I think.
Well, you're kind of right, but I'd say kind of wrong as well, because yes, you can, but the price is like, if massive. I wanted to upgrade my graphics card, I could get 2 free PlayStation 5s. Do you know what I mean? Like the price is such a significant difference.
But spending that money on the graphics card, let's say you spend 600 quid on a new graphics card now, and you put it in, and will that not last you longer than the PS5 would from a PS6 coming out?
Well, not for 600 quid, because my graphics card I bought for $1,000. So
you get what I mean, though, don't you? You get
if I bought
get a decent graphics card, you get a decent graphics card. What's the new ones? The 40 series or something?
If I got a 4090, yes, it would last longer than the new the console.
It would outlast the PS5, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely buy the PS5. Like, my graphics card's higher than the PS5 as it is. Mine's a 3080 Ti for anyone who's curious. But yeah, my graphics card is better than like a PS5 and stuff. But if they somehow brought out a new PlayStation 6 or something like that, which they won't bring out anytime soon, because it's just, they're already peaking, really. Well, not necessarily peaking.
The technology that we have at the minute is not going to get any better than what's already in the machines we've got.
Is constantly getting better, but the price, they can't compete. Consoles need to be affordable.
That's why they are what they are, really, aren't they?
That's, I mean, people were complaining about the PlayStation 5 and stuff when they come out, when they were like 400 quid. When I seen that price tag for 100 quid, I was like, oh my god, that's incredible. That's like the same price as like an £800 PC for 400 quid. But people are just like, oh, I'm not paying 400 quid.
People don't see it that way. Like, at the time of the machines were out, I was working in game retail, and I was trying to explain that to customers. I was like, your Xbox and your PlayStation that had just come out, the PS5 and the Series X, it's like spending a lot on a decent gaming PC and getting the same quality out of it. But like you said, it was I think the Xbox Series X on release was £450. You can get it for less now, I think, but that's how much it was when it on release.
Yeah, it's a shame because obviously when new consoles come out, we had the same thing with Xbox One and PS4, and also obviously PlayStation 5, etc. Is the people who are, proper gamers who love gaming all the time, like your little Call of Duty sweats who are in the house playing games all the time, they are like, yes, I can get a new console, and they will get it straight away. But the people who are more casual
That's what
based
I did.
gamers, yeah, that's what I mean. But people who are more casual based gamers thinking, oh, I'm not getting that, I'm not going to get that, and they
They'll
don't
wait for the
for
price to go down.
well, that's the thing, they don't for about 2 years and complain about it. It's like, oh, mine's doing just fine, until the hands are tied. Like the games start just not being able to run anymore. Like a new
Oh
game
yeah,
comes out.
they won't be
I
bringing games out for that system anymore. They'll make the library less and less until then the games will just be PS5 games all the time.
Well, I had an Xbox One S, just the regular Xbox One S, not the Series S. I had that in my front room where the kids were playing it, and I had an Xbox Series S in my office. But when Slime Rancher 2 came out, obviously Jack
It
and
was a
Jessica
Series
wanted to play
X
that.
only game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Series XS.
Series XS, so they couldn't play it. So I'd obviously swapped my console over. So that console's theirs now. That's no longer mine.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice. It was a shame it had to go, but it's getting a lot of bloody use, I tell you that. And Slime Rancher is my son's best game, and he's only 5 years old. So yeah, I'm happy to give away there. But yeah, it's, a lot of people just
Maybe.
like commit to, no, I am not getting the new console. I'm not getting it. Oh, fine, I'll get the new console. And then when they do get the new console, like, oh my god, this is great. It's like,
Yeah, they sort of wish they got it beforehand and gone, oh yeah, yeah.
oh
Which
yeah,
is usually why I just get it on like the day one when Xbox Series S and X was out. I had one in the stock room with my name on it. Um,
yeah. Just get it the date came out and just walk home with it. Ta-da-da.
I will tell you the truth. It was bought already. I pre-purchased it. I've already put the money through the till, but I was in hospital due to illness on the day it was released, so I couldn't pick it up for a week. So I had to go and get
heartbreaking.
it. This was during COVID, so I the shop that I worked in opened for one day for people to pick the machines up. I couldn't pick it up, and I had to wait. But I will probably start putting some money away now to get a tower and a couple of screens and start upgrading my gamingness. So I'll keep my Xbox because it's so convenient to just click
Oh, definitely.
on
Yeah.
and do what you want. Because at the minute I've got my PlayStation 5s in the front room. I basically use my PS5 for all my. I've got Netflix and it's entertainment TV. It's basically TV on my TV, and any PlayStation exclusives I want to play. And then here in this room, I've got my Switch, my laptop, and my Xbox, which is like I said, it's with the Xbox or PlayStation. You just turn it on, click go when you're playing something. Where I've noticed when I'm trying to play something with you and on your PC, if we're playing something co-op, it's just wait there, Lewis. There's just an update, or I've got to install some new drivers.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
or the sound isn't always like rigged up to work straight away.
No, it's not as simple as it's not as simple as it's like having i an Android phone and an iPhone phone. Like the people who have had iPhones since they came out, they can't use Androids for the life of them. They just like if I give my dad an Android, he's like staring at, what's this? He just has no idea what to press or anything like that. He probably couldn't even take a picture really. But
Everyone's
Yeah,
Android guys will look at an iPhone and go, "Oh well, why can't your phone do this?"
yeah, exactly. I look at iPhone like, oh, it's too simple. It's ugly. Yeah,
Why is it
I'm not.
not complicated?
If there is any listeners at this point, we've just lost them. If they're iPhone users, they've gone. I apologize. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Samsung for the
Yeah.
win. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, I think we should wrap that up as our first episode for our
Yeah, we
92-bit our
92-bit
92-bit
gamers.
gamers. God, it's going to take some getting used to. We were proper spitballing different ideas for names for quite a long time. We've settled on 92-bit gamers, and this is what we are. So, yes, please give this a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever you are listening on. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. And obviously, if you subscribe to the YouTube, it is my channel, which is Modern Tech. And I would really appreciate the subscriber base. And yeah, just comment any thoughts you want. I'll leave the Discord link in the description. So if you want to jump in the Discord and, chat away, go for it. If you got anything you'd like us to chat about on the next podcast, we were going to try and aim to do podcasts hopefully weekly. And to be honest, we'll probably stick to weekly. I feel like we've got a nice little rhythm going. What do you reckon, Lewis? Do you think we'll be able to stick to that?
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing, we hopefully we do it once a week, and then release the episode a week at as soon as we get it sorted. So there should be an episode out once a week. So if we can
Yeah.
keep up to that, there'll be lots of entertainment.
Yeah, so when this episode is posted, we will have more kind of like a scheduled date of when the next episodes will be posted. So yeah, stick around, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and please give us these ratings and reviews. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
See
Goodbye.
you later.